And he is in. Then there were 4. Tony Clement has now thrown his hat into the ring to become the next leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, and he joins me now. Great. Now, you've run before.
I have done that.
Why this time?
Well, look, I believe I've got the combination of experience and skills and the innovation agenda that is going to mean victory in 2019 for the Conservative Party of Canada.
What's the innovation agenda? Because the party's got to figure out what it is now. You know, the polls are showing that there's right now, I mean, it's early days, a Liberal juggernaut. Those don't necessarily last. But what do you want to do to that party?
I've used the hashtag empower, and what it means is empower our party members to be part of the team as we move forward. And also empower Canadian citizens. I believe that the current Liberal government is actually going 180 degrees in the wrong direction, and they will be thirsting for that change 3 years from now.
But in what way? So particularly, going in what? When you were in government, you also stimulated the economy for growth through deficit spending, and you went back the other way, but you used deficit spending to stimulate growth. They're doing the same thing?
Well, they're doing the same thing at a period of Canadian and world growth. So what they're doing is taking the good times and driving us into deficit. We don't even know whether that's going to work for them, whether their spending is actually going to be meaningful in terms of jobs for Canadians. I'm going to run on pocketbook issues. I've got the experience to make sure we make sure that the Canadian budget of the Government of Canada is in line. And I want to make sure balanced budgets I think are important, but I also believe that we have to have an agenda that looks to not only fiscal prudence, but also looks to innovation, creativity, productivity, and I'll be outlining those things as we move forward.
What's different from the Harper years?
Well, I think every time is different, and the agenda that we had for the previous 9 years fit for those 9 years by and large. But we've got to move forward now, and for the next 3 years and for the next 10 years of Canada, we've got to have a Conservative Party that connects not only on fiscal and financial issues, but also environmental issues, poverty reduction issues.
Would you support a price on carbon?
No, I think that any Liberal government that's going to put a price on carbon is going to actually increase taxes for Canadians. But what I want to do, and what I referenced yesterday at my launch, is a radical reconsideration of our taxation system. We've got to look to a one-page tax form if we're going to be competitive for the future.
Are you flat taxing?
I'm going to be outlining these proposals as we move forward. But my line in the sand is, you know the tax forms now, and you know how difficult it is for individuals and for small businesses to fill out those forms. And I believe we got to get to a simpler tax system that's fair and will actually boost productivity and innovation.
Big problem for Conservatives. They just got to broaden the tent. They got 29%.
Right.
How do you broaden the tent?
Well, I talked yesterday about how we've got to empower our party and our policy to attract younger voters, hashtag millennials, if you want to put it that way, urban voters, reconnect with, I'm an immigrant myself, and reconnect with the first generation community as well. We've got to do all those things. So we've got to have policies that match their values and their aspirations.
Jason Kenney leave some space on there for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, I got a minute. You're meeting Kevin OLeary on Friday. You're both going to play guitar. I know you're both guitar players. He's thinking of running. You are actually running. Are you going to try to convince him to support you and not run?
Well, I think we're just going to have a good chat. I think it's important that all the leadership candidates get to know one another, and we'll see what he has to say, and he'll see what I have to say.
Clement, this is McLean. So we asked Trudeau to recite Shakespeare, and then he did. Now, you want to take on Trudeau. You got some Shakespeare in your back pocket?
Well, I did one for the sound check. I'll do another one. What are these so withered and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth? Live ye, or are you aught that man may question? That's from Macbeth. That's a kind of a depressing play, but I hope people will like that anyway.
Fair is foul. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Clement is running.